Well, hello everybody. It's me and my little buddy Ollie, and we're about to go put in here at Strickland Landing, which is south of Vernon, Florida, on Holmes Creek. And we're going to go down to try to see if we can explore and find a couple of, at least one, cold spring, and just check out what Holmes Creek looks like down this way. This is a hidden spring I'm looking for, so I'm not sure if we'll find it or not, but we're going to try. So I never have been to this landing before. I didn't really even see it on the map. I just saw a road, and it looked like that it would come right out at Holmes Creek. And when I brought up the GPS satellite view, it showed, or it appeared to be, a boat ramp from what I could tell that it might be. So we drove over here just to see if it was. And as you can see, it's got a nice little pavilion. Now this area, you can tell, does flood at times. So there's also some signs that the road floods. So just be aware of that. You wouldn't want to come down here if it's been raining a lot, does it look like, because you might not, it might be a wasted trip. But it's a dirt road, and it appears to be dirt down to the boat ramp, but the boat ramp itself is concrete, so it looks like a fairly decent boat ramp, what I can see. Yeah, it looks like a decent boat ramp. And the water level here at Holmes Creek is pretty low. I'm not sure what it is. I didn't check that, but you know, it hasn't been raining, so the color of it is just beautiful. So we're gonna go check that out now, see if we can find some springs. All right, we're off. Yeah, well, the first thing I noticed is how easy it is to paddle out here today, because there's just not much current. I do have to say it's supposed to be up into the mid-90s, and it's not far from it already. I'm gonna go in this little creek that runs right here into the side, this little inlet or whatever it is. See how far up in here it goes. I've got Ollie with me today, and he doesn't come with me a lot, but I figured I'd bring him today, and he's hot, so it's we kind of trying to stay cool as well. Whew, it's certainly hot already. We knew it was going to be hot. It's getting closer and closer to fall, but it ain't here yet. So I'm still in that little inlet I was talking about. Me and Ollie. I think we're going to turn around. Doesn't really look like there's much in here. and it looks like it's getting more and more shallow. Well, Ollie said he was hot, and I'm saying that this is probably the easiest part of the creek that I've ever paddled in. It's like there's almost no current. I mean, you can stop paddling and keep going against the current for a little bit. I do wish there was a little more shade in here. It's also a wider part of the creek. The closer it gets to the Shockhatchee, I believe it gets wider like this. When you're up on the Cypress Springs end of it, you got a lot of shade because it's pretty close together. But down here, there's not as much. But from what I understand, there's a whole lot of springs down on this south end. And most of them you have to, well, all of them that I know of, you have to get to by boat. So they're not as populated with people coming to them as Cypress Springs is. Cypress Springs is just kind of a touristy destination now. I'm sorry, Ollie, didn't mean to hit you with the paddle. The boy is hot. I'm trying to keep him cool though. Yeah. Water feels good, don't it? So if I'm correct, that is Millers Ferry Road bridge right here in front of us. And I believe we go north, which is the way we're going to find these springs. Ollie says he's glad we're going under this bridge so he can get in the shade. And I kind of agree with him. Well, we're still looking for the springs. I just thought this was a really pretty area. Beautiful old trees. There's old trees growing out of trees. And this is what the creeks in Florida look like when it has not been raining. They get kind of a greenish tint to them, but they're clear. They're pretty clear. Yeah, this looks like a dead end. But you can see, like some of these stumps, like the one directly ahead, it's an old stump, but there's a tree growing out of the center of it. And a lot of these are like that. like an oak tree growing out of the center of a cypress stump. It's pretty neat. There's some gorgeous waters and some beautiful scenery to look at. I guess we'll stop and look at it since I got caught on a stump. It's hot, ain't it, Ollie? I think I see some shade up there, though. We're going to be going through in just a minute. So hold on, buddy. Now the current up here above the bridge, after you get back onto the main part of the Holmes Creek, it is a little bit stronger because it's narrower up here. You can actually see it moving. Back there you could barely even see it moving. But it's still not too bad. At this point, I have turned back around and we're going downstream on Holmes Creek back to where we put in at the Strickland boat ramp, I believe what it was called. And I think we may have passed the spring I was looking for. It just wasn't quite the color I was thinking it was going to be. But it probably doesn't put out as much, probably doesn't have as much of a flow. I don't know, really. But we might try to stop in there and look at it, if that's it. Or I may not have even found it and thought I did. But I do know I'm close. Now, it's my opinion that This part of the creek is one of the prettiest parts of the creek I've been on. Now, it could just be the time of the year and the lack of rain, but just the color of the water and the surroundings, it's just beautiful. I'm getting a little bit of a breeze right here at 1240, and it's 90 some degrees, so this breeze is welcomed. Yeah, I think we may have passed the spring that I was looking for. I know I was close, but I wasn't 100% sure that was it, because the watercolor was not much different than the creek. If it was different at all. Now, it may be a smaller spring. It may not be a very big magnitude. I don't know how much water comes out of that spring, but that could be why I thought that wasn't it, because I think I know where it is, which kind of threw me off with the color of the water. But I saw a cable like going all the way across, where it looked like you would slide across it on a cable and maybe drop in, so maybe that was it. I just wasn't sure. Anyway, we're headed back that way, so I may pull in there and just look around and see. Just depends on if there's anybody in there, because it's not a big area. Be good, Ollie. I see there's people ahead. Ollie wants to bark at people every time. This place is probably going to start filling up with some people, but I don't think there'll be as many as there is at Cypress. Yeah, I think this is it, because there's people out here already. There was one boat in there when I came by the first time, and I didn't think that was it, but I'm pretty sure it is. See the fish? That was either a fish or a frog. Pretty in here, ain't it? Got a rope swing and a cable. Yep, this is it. Don't fall in, Ollie. Ain't that pretty? Isn't that pretty water? Want some water? What's up? You don't want that? You too worried about people? There's a rope swing right there, Ollie. How deep this water is. It's pretty deep in the middle. We're right here in the shade, Alex. Over here in the shade. You want to get in the shade?
Yeah.
see the fish? See the fish, Allie? See the fish?
So Amy was planning out, there's a cruise that will take you to Ireland, Scotland, and England. And it's like a week-long cruise. And like, spent like 2 days in Ireland.
Oh, we just heard that on
2
the
days
radio.
in Scotland.
And it's real pretty. Oh, which is good, because that's what it's
So, they Florida? No, you gotta fly over there, and then they dock around.
Had to give Ollie something to eat. He was getting a little hungry. I brought him a little dog food and some water, some fresh water. And he's fine now. Ain't you, buddy? But that was Millers Ferry Spring is what they call it. And it's not on the map, but it's near Millers Ferry Road, and that's about all I can give you on coordinates. I won't disclose the exact location. If you want to get on Holmes Creek and find it, you shouldn't have too much problems. But it's a beautiful place. It sure is. And this is a beautiful part of Holmes Creek as well. I think Ollie would agree with me on that. Right, Ollie? Is that right, buddy? I'd say he's about had all the water he can stand. I want to wish y'all a happy Labor Day weekend, and y'all be safe, and if you can, get on the water, but be safe. And until next time, go kayaking, get outdoors.